Of course, if you missed it yesterday, the state government announced, this is the Premier and the new Education Minister announced that there would be a new school built in Sydney's southwest and that it would be a selective school. The Premier Gladys Berejiklian cited these figures that there were 15,000 applications against just over 4,000 places available this year for selective schools. Critics, though, aren't buying into it. The Labor opposition education spokesman Jihad Dib spoke to us earlier this morning.
I've got some serious issues with students have to leave their local area to get their first-rate education. Now, I know that the government likes to talk about this as opportunity, but the fact of the matter is most of the students who are entering selective schools are having to get special tutoring and additional training. I want to see every school with a selective stream, but I also want to see every school that's an inclusive school that can accommodate for kids with their artistic talents, their sporting talents, disabilities. That's actually what a best education system is.
And another text here saying, well, unless all selective schools are going to be closed, well, the Southwest deserves to have a new one. Thank you very much.
We did put a request in for the Education Minister, Sarah Mitchell, this morning into her office, but we haven't heard back thus far. But somebody who's been very vocal about this announcement in the last 24 hours is Maurie Mulheron. He's the president of the New South Wales Teachers Federation. Good morning, Maurie.
Good morning.
Okay, you're obviously not enthused about this call.
No, it's a stupid decision. It's devastating. The impact it'll have on neighbouring schools will be dramatic. It's a very old-fashioned idea. This is one of these brain snaps that politicians have with no justification. There's not evidence-based decision-making, and yet we will have to live with the consequences of these decisions for many, many years to come.
Well, is this something that, an issue that teachers tell you about? You know, obviously they tell you about. What are their concerns? Can you sort of unpack those for us?
Look, I've experienced myself as a teacher. What happens is you lose the kids who will be the students choosing the extension courses, the maths courses, the physics and chemistry, and you start with this brain drain of your local school. You start to struggle as a school to run those courses. So it becomes a self-defeating cycle where you're losing your kids from your local schools. And for what reason? There is no educational advantage whatsoever in sending your child to a selective school. They would do just as well as their local comprehensive school. But we are having, with these selective schools, when they're created in communities, they start to create social division and inequities into the system, which already have enormous inequities. For instance, with the selective schools now in New South Wales, 83% of the kids who go to selective schools come from a language background other than English. 83%. They're not even reflecting what our community is. And if we have an education system that does not reflect the diversity of our community, then we have some serious problems.
But they're very, very popular with parents, Maurie. It seems like, as I mentioned earlier, parents are voting with their feet on this one. 15,000 applications, only 4,000 places available. If that's what parents want, why shouldn't they get it?
Well, it's not really. We shouldn't be pandering to what some parents want, because the majority of parents don't put their kids through coaching clinics, don't push their kids into selective schools. So we'll be a little bit careful about that. And remember, we've got to be able to make decisions when the professionals who are in the game, who have the understanding of what kind of education system we have, that's what we should be doing. We should be driving it on the principles of excellence and equity, not just on choice. It's not a matter of choice. The parents can make good or bad decisions, but it's not necessarily them who should drive what the education system is, and particularly if it has an adverse effect on the majority of the remaining kids. Your choice should not have an impact on the choice of other parents in the community, and that's what happens.
Okay, Maurie, I take it that you do welcome the announcement by the state government of another school, though, in Sydney?
Absolutely. We're going to have a massive increase in the number of people coming into the public education system over the next decade or so. They're looking at an extra 250,000. We're going to have to build hundreds of schools. And we were working with the department on planning the kind of schools that we want and the build and being consulted. And suddenly, out of the blue, without any consultation, this announcement's made without any educational justification, people working in education would not be pushing this kind of school. This is purely an announcement that the Premier has made, pandering to some people in some electorates. It's purely a political construct. It is not an educational decision.
What about those who would say, well, where do I send my kids to get that additional challenge at school that they maybe don't otherwise get at a comprehensive?
But they don't get an additional education channel. The teachers who teach in selective schools have the same training as people who are in the comprehensive schools. They teach the same curriculum, the same syllabus, they sit for the same exams. One of the myths of selective schools is that they somehow add value. The stats are showing that's not the case. There is no advantage in sending your child to a selective school. That same child in their local comprehensive school would do just as well, and in some cases there's research that's showing they would actually do better had they remained in their local comprehensive school.
All right, well, we might see what the listeners have to say about it this morning. Thanks very much for your time, Maurie.
Thank you.